You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh, how
You know what time it is. Roll with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Buckeyes by a billion. We in the building with over 100,000. We represent from the uttermost to the public housing. If we don't play, our wide receivers got your secondary shook, so they cook them like Bobby Flay. Hey, stay out of my way and trust me, cause I know it's OH. Somebody please give this brother an IO. Come on.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Devin. I'm excited to be here tonight. A show originally scheduled with Daniel Sanchez. He had to back out for the night, but he is going to be in here tomorrow. And I'm sorry, it's got thrown off, man. I do not like my name being in blue down there in the corner. For some reason, it doesn't matter how many times I change it, StreamYard automatically does it back. We don't play with that color around here, man. That's just a nasty. That's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, chat, appreciate you guys for joining me. Daniel will be joining the show tomorrow. So switching up the schedule a little bit. But anyway, loaded schedule here on the Buckeye Boys as far as people joining the show, recruits joining the show. Just got a slew of them. I can't even remember now, but a lot of them scheduled. 5 stars, big time Buckeye leans joining the show, and Daniel coming on tomorrow. So tonight, wanted to hop on, talk about a few things that I have heard, a few things that have piqued my interest. And I might throw the link in the chat, man. See if somebody wants to come on here and talk a little Buckeye football with me. But if I'm going to be honest with you guys, the true reason I did this show, because I wanted to show you guys my new shirt. I bought 2 new shirts, new Buckeye shirts. I'm a big fan of black shirts, right? So I need you guys to rank this thing, dude, because I just saw this the other day. I think this thing's fire. I mean, I think it's sick. But you guys let me know what you think, man. Rate that shirt from 1 to 10. I'll wear my other one tomorrow. The other one makes me I've been told I resemble Coach Day. So I wanted to get a shirt that I could wear to make it look even more like that. That way I can walk around in games and maybe I can sneak into the sideline if I look official. It's a collared shirt. I'm going to try it. And maybe some of these playoff games I'm going to go to. Definitely next year I'm going to wear it and just try to walk right in. No ticket, no nothing. Just going to go for it. But anyway, man, listen to the Downs to Business podcast with Julie and Saying on there. If you guys haven't checked that out, you need to go check it out. It's really cool. You get to see that side of Julie and Saying. And to be honest with you, when you watch the show, it's like, okay, that is, he's exactly the person that we pictured he would be. That cool, calm, collected dude. He did verify that he, in fact, does listen to Maroon 5 pregame, but not only Maroon 5, other stuff as well. So, guys, if you could hit that like button for me, hit the subscribe button as well. You know, I was searching through YouTube analytics on my Buckeye Boys channel, and I came across this thing that says 80% of my listeners for the past 3 months are not subscribed. Now, I don't know if that's if I should even be saying that. Maybe it's because they don't want to keep listening to me and I'm bad or something. I don't care. I'm just saying, if you're listening, you're not subscribing, hit the subscribe button. It really helps us out over here on both channels, Scoop and Buckeye Boys, if you haven't done that. But back to Julian saying, just getting to know him as a football player. So go check that out. And they brought up on there just some of the elite talent that these Buckeyes have. And it's almost like I got so bored talking about it that I just stopped talking about it. Well, I'm going to talk about it tonight. I'm going to dive back into it, dive back into some of these players that we have on this team. And that's the portion of the show that I would love somebody in the chat to join me for. I'll put the link in the chat when we start going over some of the players on this team, talk about maybe what they look like last year compared to what they look like now, and their progression, how much better they've got through 7 games, and where we see them going in the season. I think that'll be a fun thing. And then, shout out Jake Butt on the Big Ten Network. Dude, he brought up something. I've talked about it several times, but I never dove into the numbers. But I tweeted about it last night about Day, man. Coach Day is out here playing chess while the rest of the nation is playing. They're trying to play a little checkers game, right? Day is up to something right now. Like I said, we've talked about it a lot on the channel already, but I've got some numbers to show you guys and to really put in perspective of what he's doing. And that's what I want to dive into right now. So I was going to play that little clip off of X, but I think YouTube will ding me for copyright or something. So I'm not going to, but essentially, if you guys haven't seen that, Jake Butt breaks it down and he talks about the pace of play for the Buckeyes. Okay. And it got me thinking too, because listening to Julian Sand talk, he made his Mount Rushmore for Buckeye quarterbacks. He put CJ Stroud as number 1 for him and talked about the Michigan State game when they were number 7 and the score was 49-0 going into halftime. It's like, that was just a different game back then. Right? A lot of teams are still treating it like that. They're going out there and they're just, not thinking about the long season, or maybe they are. Maybe they are thinking about it, but they're thinking, hey, no, number 1, we got to win the game. I'm not worried about this long season, because if we don't win, we're not going to have a long season. So there's twofold to it. And there's really a lot to dive into with the strategy that Day has chosen. And I'm going to tell you, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. It's a bold strategy, because to have the confidence to purposely play less plays throughout the season just goes to show you the amount of confidence Ryan Day has in this defense and in this offense. I watched the Illinois game again last night, and I'm going to be honest, offensively, when I watched it the first time, I was frustrated. When I watched it the second time, I wasn't frustrated at all. I was like, dude, they're moving the ball whenever they want to. They're just choosing to slow this game down. And essentially what Jake Butt brought up was that, dude, by the end of the season, Ryan Day will have officially added another bye week. He will have played 1 less game than most of the other teams in the nation. Okay. And it depends on how big a fan you are and how much you know about football. If you understand how big a deal that is, how many teams do you see their season just get thrown off because of an injury? And then also, how many teams do you see get into the playoffs and just kind of beat down? You remember watching Oregon last year during the regular season, undefeated, high flying offense, scoring a bunch of points all the time. And then they came up against another team, right, that was ready to rock and roll. They were ready to go last year. I don't think that was stupid of me not to look at I'm going to do it right now. Watch me. I can do that, right? I can look stuff up on the live show. I don't have to be super prepared. Plays per game last year for Ohio State. Oh, they did the same thing last year. Okay. Yeah. So it's the same strategy, man. Last year, we ranked 132nd in FBS in plays per game. We ran 60 plays per game last year. And yes, I know we were a super, super talented team. But chat, would you guys agree that the Buckeyes, dude, they looked fresh? And I think the biggest way you could see that is the way Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson ran in the offseason. Like, they looked fresh. So when you add a super talented team with the fact that that they're playing such a slow pace, that they're not worn out and got fresh legs at the end of the season, it's a big deal. And that's what Ryan Day is doing this year, man. Ohio State is ranked 123rd in the nation. Yo, what up, Aunt Chris? I ain't talked to you for a minute. You haven't been on the show. So figured that we weren't close anymore. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just joking. Love you, Aunt Chris. Ranked 123rd in the nation, running 62.2 plays per game right now. And let's put this into perspective of a couple other teams, right? I saw this post on Twitter, and I couldn't find it again. But luckily, shout out Funky over on the Scoop message board. He did it for us here. So, right, Ohio State, 62.4 plays per game. By season's end, if everything keep going with the average, the Buckeyes will have run 86.4 fewer plays than Indiana. Like, that's a full game and then some. 74.4 fewer than Texas A&M. Again, a whole game and then some. 128 less plays than Georgia. That's dang near 2 games, almost 2 games. 108 fewer than Ole Miss, 63 fewer than Alabama. And that's what Ryan Day is doing. He is pacing this season right now. And we've talked about that strategy, right? When you look at it from the fans' perspective, at least for me, right? When I watch these games, I think that's what frustrates me sometimes about the offense. I think that's why right after the game, I get on here and I talk about the running game so much. But I think it's not I think anymore. It's we know that's the strategy, right? Day is trying to slow this thing down, hence the reason the run game is the way it is. If you go out and you have all these explosive plays, and I'm not saying he's purposely not trying to have explosive plays. It's just when Ryan Day is asked about the running game in the press conference, he says it's good. He says it's good. And, you know, as a fan, I sit back and I'm like, dang, does he really think that right now? But when you combined it with the fact of what he's doing, preparing this team for the playoffs, running less plays, it's like, oh, okay, you know, they're going down, they're scoring enough points to win this game. And that's what is Indiana. The team that everybody, you know, there are serious trolls right now talking about how Indiana has passed Ohio State for the number 1 team. That's fine. They rank number 44 in the nation. They're running about 70.6 plays per game. Alabama, they're ranked 57th at 69.4 plays per game. The only ranked team that is running less plays than Ohio State is Vandy. They're number 133. They're only running 60.9 plays per game. Let me ask you guys, Buckeye Nation, on, let's see, I guess I always do scales of 1 to 10. So a 10 being you absolutely love this strategy, and a 1 being no, I wish they ran more because we're capable of doing that as an offense, and we want them to get used to that and get that down because I don't think we can be stopped. Where are you guys at? Are you cool with this? Do you want this to continue? Do you trust Ryan Day? Do you think this is a mistake? Or do you buy into it, right? Do you think this is a genius play by Coach Day to keep these guys fresh at the end of the season when it matters most? Curious to see your guys' thoughts on that in there, because I look at other teams around the nation, and it's like, how blessed are we, right, to be able to control this with our team, right? Because like all these other teams, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, like I don't think they have an option but to speed the game up, because if they try to slow the game down, they can't operate like that. You know, they can't operate their offense properly. When you run as slow as Ohio State does, you give the other defense all the time to set up, catch their breath, catch their legs. But Ryan Day is so confident in this team and in this defense that he just keeps doing it. And it's like, dude, when we look at the games that have been played, I'm not sure we can really argue that this is the strategy that needs to happen. But my only holdup with it is, and after watching the Wisconsin game, a little less fear of this, but my only holdup is because it's like, all right, if we're slowing the game down, what happens when we get in a game when it's close and we need to play fast? We need to come from behind. Are we capable of doing that? Yes, I think we are. But the fact that we've never done it and don't attempt it in games doesn't give the players in this offense those live reps to have that experience and to grow. It doesn't give the coaches the film to go back and look, hey, look, here's what happens when we run hurry up. We need to focus on this area because we're weak on this area. So that was the thing that got me a little worried about it. But after watching Julian Sain in the Wisconsin game and the RPOs they ran, and then you look at the wide receivers that we have on this team, I don't know. I got a lot of faith that if we needed to pick this thing up a little bit, we'd be able to do it. Okay, I forgot to show you guys the other thing that I got that I'm super excited about. I got to do this first. I got to find my dude, Brad H. Brad Hughes on Twitter. Shout out, Brad. I don't know if you're watching, but I live in Florida. Okay. So when I heard about this Jeremiah Smith and this Red Bull can thing, I was like, dude, how do I get one of these? I got on the internet, looked, tried to find one for sale. I didn't find any for sale. So I made a Twitter post and several people messaged me back, said, I got you. But Brad came through. He sent me 10 of them today. Look at this thing, dude. You guys seen these yet? I got 10 of them. I'm going to drink one, and I guess I'm just going to keep the rest. I don't know. There he is, making the one-handed catch. Love it, dude. These things are sick. You know you're a psycho Ohio State fan when you buy 10 Jeremiah Smith Red Bull cans and you don't plan on drinking them. I don't know why. I only need to keep one, right? I shouldn't need to keep more than one. Wonder if I should put them up on the wall somewhere. You guys think I should put it up there somewhere? But yeah, hey, who else in the chat? You guys got one yet? You guys went and got a Jeremiah Smith Red Bull can yet? You guys need to go get one if you haven't. So where was I at? Yeah, dude, I'm all over the place. Like I said, planned on having Daniel come on, and I had a whole thing that I wanted to do, and we're just moving it till tomorrow. So my little show plans I had got pushed off. So I'm flying by the seat of my pants. Is that what they say? Flying by the seat of my pants right now. But I love it. I love that Ohio State and Ryan Day are doing what they're doing. It makes you question, hey, why aren't other teams attempting this? And I think the answer is pretty clear. They can't. They can't do it. You got to have a defense like Ohio State has, and you got to have the faith and trust in your defense that, hey, as long as we're scoring 34, 35 points a game, we're going to win. And to be honest with you guys, do you see a team in the nation that if Ohio State scores 35 points, this defense can't keep under 35 points? I don't, man. When I look at Indiana, I don't. I think this defense can hold them under 30 points. When I look at Alabama, yeah, I might be wearing scarlet glasses and I know anything could change. But as of right now, when you watch what this defense is doing on the field, I think we're capable of holding teams very low. They're averaging, I forget the points that the defense is giving up, but it's the best since 1993. Okay, so it's pretty good. Joyce Chapman wants me to stand up again so you guys can see the shirt. I stood up once. You didn't see it in the beginning, Joyce. There it is. Joyce, were you the one that asked me if I was from Warren Local? I am. Yeah, I graduated from Warren High School. So yeah, any shout out any Warren High School alums in the chat? That'd be sick if somebody went to Warren High School in the chat. That'd be awesome. All right, here we go. I'm going to dive into, what did I say I was going to do? I'm going to dive into some of these players. It's always nice when you can sit back and talk about the athletes that you have on your team, and just all smiles, and a lot of them are freaks. So let me get this link put in the chat. If anybody wants to come on, join me. Come on, talk about whatever you want. So don't be scared, man. We chilling on here. Not too serious of a show today. What? Hey, Chris, listen. Aunt Chris, I love you. Look what Aunt Chris did. You got to be careful saying them words in the chat. That is unfortunately, that's the callers of Warren. Okay, guys. So that's what my aunt meant. Don't time her out, mods. She meant our team. Oh yeah, Chris, you're an alumni of Warren. That's right. I love it. Yeah, so hit that chat if you want to come on here. I'm going to dive into this. We'll just go ahead and start with Julian Saying, right? We already know this, but you go from Will Howard to Julian Saying. Will Howard last year, where's he at here? Throwing for 73%, had 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And then you go this year to Julian Saying with 1,800 yards through 7 games already, 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, throwing at 80% completion percentage. So going from Will Howard to Julian Saying, and every game that I watch, I'm going to be honest with you, you look at Julian's size and you look at Will Howard's size and you think, okay, right, Will Howard had his legs. That is the thing. Julian Saying's a better passer. Will Howard had his legs. I don't know, man. Watching Julian Saying in the pocket, that dude is smooth in there. He's very smooth, and you go watch his high school film. He goes for several runs, beating people. You know how when you watch Carnell Tate run, Caleb Downs talked about this in the Downs to Business show as well, and I'll get into it when I talk about Carnell a little more. But dude, he's so like deceivingly fast. I meant because he's so smooth with it. That's kind of how I think about Julian when he's in the pocket. Everybody thinks he's this frail, small person who can't run. I don't know that I buy that, to be honest with you. I think if we come up to some games where Julian, in fact, needs to use his legs, I think some people are going to be pretty surprised with what Julian's Saying is going to be able to do with his legs. I really do. And I think it's when you watch the only one QB draw kept this year so far, it's kind of on par with what Day did last year too. I guarantee you. I mean, I know this. Ryan Day had Will Howard not running the ball much last year, right? Wants to preserve his quarterback. Watch out for the injuries. Watch out for, the things that can occur when your quarterback is running the football. But when it came playoff time and when it came to the games that we needed it, the Penn State game, Will Howard utilized his legs, and it worked beautifully. In the playoffs, I don't know how many rushing touchdowns Will Howard had, but he had a couple of them, used his legs. Again, I think Julian Saying is capable of something similar to that. Obviously, not the big-bodied quarterback that Will Howard is, but Julian Saying, with the talent he has at throwing from the pocket, throwing on the run, I think the next thing to add there is that the capability of using your legs. And to me, I have seen enough this year to have a lot of confidence that if he needs to use his legs, he'll use it, right? There was a game, it was the Wisconsin game. When I was at the Wisconsin game, dude got pushed out of the pocket, ran to the right. I believe it was the Brandon Ennis touchdown. He had about 10 yards in front of him, and he actually started like he was going to take those yards, but instead switched and kept running straight, keeping his eyes downfield. So I love that about Julian Saying. I don't think we've seen his pinnacle yet at all, his ceiling. And part of that is the coaches, Ryan Day, the way he likes to develop his quarterbacks. I just love the trajectory that we're on. I think we got to upgrade at quarterback. Julian Saying upgrade at quarterback, and we get him another year. It's kind of unfair. All right, let's go to Jeremiah Smith. Talk about Jeremiah Smith for a second. Last year, 76 receptions for 1,315 yards. He had 15 touchdowns. And for some reason, man, when I think about Jeremiah Smith this year, for some reason, I was thinking he was like way behind what he was doing last year. And that's just not true. I haven't went back and saw what JJ's stats were through 7 games last year, but he's got 49 receptions. So they are targeting him way more this year than they did last year. It doesn't seem like that. Is that on par? Do you guys feel that? Do you feel like, for some reason, I felt like he hasn't been getting as many touches as he did last year, but he is. He's getting more. Like I said, last year, where we at this year? Last year he had 76. This year he's got 49 already through 7 games. We play the schedule we do last year. I mean, we did last year. He's going to have, over 100 receptions in it, on the year. And obviously, with the pace of play that we're playing with this year, I expect that yardage and those big chunk plays to really take a step up towards the end of the season. So let me ask you guys, I'm curious about this. I don't know how to ask it really where you guys can give some feedback here, but just simple yes or no. Do you think Jeremiah Smith has gotten way better from last year? I'm curious to see what you guys think there. I do. I know he's gotten physically bigger, faster, stronger. And I've always had this feeling that there's been a couple catches this year that he probably would have made. I don't believe in this sophomore slump thing. I don't think he's anywhere near that. I think what's leaning more towards that is the emergence of Carnell Tate has kind of taken a little bit away from Jeremiah. For me, I'm talking about for me, right? Because I knew about Emeka Ibuka last year. That wasn't a surprise. He did what he did last year. It's not really a surprise Carnell's doing well, actually, it is a surprise to me what Carnell's doing at the level that he's doing it at. And also, Jeremiah Smith really isn't the shiny new toy anymore. So, yeah, I like this in here. His route running has improved. I agree, Aaron. Russ says not really. But it's kind of crazy. It's like, dude was number 1 receiver last year. He's number 1 receiver in the country this year. It's like, what are we talking about here? He went from number 1 to number 1, kind of like our defense last year. But yes, this is the big thing here. Somebody actually tried. Actually, let me pull this up. Let's pull this up here. This is beautiful because somebody, of course, what people do. And I shouldn't even have done this and gave them the time of day here. Here we go. Let me share my screen real quick. Hey, y'all, nobody hit the link to come in the chat. I'm going to put it in there again. Somebody's got to hit it, all right? You guys got to hit the link. All right. Squid Back Goat said, despite missing 2 games, having 16 less receptions, and having a far tougher schedule, they do have a tougher schedule. Ryan Williams is only 107 receiving yards behind Jeremiah Smith. You see my response. He's not bracket covered 80% of the time either. And there's also some good. Williams has 5 more drops and 5 less TDs. So what are we doing here? Oh, that's my dude Brad that sent me the Red Bull stuff. Shout out, Brad. That's good stuff there, man. So, yeah. Jeremiah Smith, number 1 receiver in the nation still. And yeah, you guys bringing up a very good point. Yeah, they're guarding him mad crazy. That they are, all over the place. And the thing about it is a lot of people, including myself sometimes, want to look at a receiver and ask yourself, okay, how do we grade a receiver? Well, let's go look at his yardage, right? Well, you can do that with Jeremiah Smith, but when you turn on the film and dive into this film, he has had a way bigger impact on this team than 602 yards and however many touchdowns he has this year, 7. Yep, so he's got 602 yards, 7 touchdowns, and a lot of people will stop it there. Well, his counterpart, Carnell Tate, 34 receptions for 587 yards with 6 touchdowns. Why do we think Carnell has been in the position he's been in several times? Why do we think some of the running game has taken off the way it has? because Jeremiah Smith demands so much attention when teams are scheming for Ohio State. What do you think is number one on their board? Like, they're getting their defensive game plan together. Hey, how do we stop the Buckeyes? Here's goal number one. What are we going to do? Goal number one, I promise, for every team that we have played this year and every team we will play this year, is stop Jeremiah Smith. Now, reverse that. Let's go over to the Alabama schedule. How many teams do you think have Ryan Williams number one on their list to stop? I don't think they're equal in that regard. Well, in any regard. Ryan Williams, heck of a receiver, bro, but to try to compare anybody. Carnell Tate's a better receiver than Ryan Williams is. Carnell Tate is a first-round draft pick. And we're going to dive into him right now. Last year, Carnell Tate, 52 receptions for 733 yards and 4 touchdowns. Of course, you had Emeka Egbuka last year leading the receptions on the team from the slot, 1,011 yards last year with 10 touchdowns. So I'm not quite sure where we have ever seen a wide receiver room like we had last year. Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Egbuka, and Carnell Tate. That is 3 first-round wide receivers and possibly 3 rookie offensive MVPs of the year in the NFL. Can you imagine that? If Mech pulls that off this year and gets that, and then Carnell Tate goes in and does it, and then Jeremiah Smith goes in and does it, well, that'd go down. That'd be untouchable. Nobody would ever touch that at all. Russ, Ryan Williams paints his nails. I can't read. Steely, bro, Quincy Porter. Yeah. I've told you guys before. I'll tell you again. This is me patting myself on the back a little bit for no other reason. I think I kind of got lucky here, but last year, before recruiting season really picked up and started, me and Mello did a show ranking the wide receivers. I had Caden Dixon-Wyatt in the top 5, but Quincy Porter was my number 2 receiver in the nation. At the time, he was ranked like the 25th receiver in the nation, and a very low 4-star. And I watched all their films. Like I watched all the film of every wide receiver that Brian Hartline offered in the 2024 class, and that's when I came up with this list. And when I turned on Quincy's film, the thing that stood out to me is how big he is and his after the catch mobility. So you guys have already seen it this year. The Wisconsin game, 2 catches for 30 yards. He had that one where he caught it and then ran for 15 yards afterwards. His shiftiness is absolutely off the chain. Look, I put the link in the chat again. Somebody hit it. You know what I mean? Come on here and talk some Buckeye football with me. Yeah, Williams dropping a lot of passes as well. But back to Carnell Tate, right? So we heard what he had last year. This year, 34 receptions already. Last year, 52. So he's on pace to go over that big time. He's only, 586, 733. Yeah, he's about 147 yards off of his yards that he had last year. So Julian's saying we didn't see him last year. Jeremiah Smith did get better, but there's not that huge jump there. How about Carnell Tate, chat? What do you think about Carnell Tate? I love this. Oh, this is my dude right here. Yes, sir. Sheen's. How do I say that? Sheen Shmoney. 385. My dude, I'm tired of being humble. We are, though. Oh, bad word. Didn't see that in there. That's all right. We are. We really are. What was I talking about? Carnell Tate. So, Jeremiah Smith, number one receiver, has gotten better, but there wasn't some huge jump that you can see, right? Carnell Tate, to me, has taken a huge jump. And that makes sense with what I was hearing during the offseason is that he just took the offseason to a whole different level. He just did, man. Here we go, dude. Got somebody joining us, man. I'm going to let him introduce himself. This is the man, the myth, the legend himself. What up, brother?
Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot, you know.
Yeah.
Left the barbershop, headed home, start packing my stuff to leave tomorrow morning, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, I know who you are, but you just got to give a quick intro for the rest of Buckeye Nation.
My name is V. I'm Epi Sitanile's dad. And yeah, that's about it, man.
Yeah. Dude, I appreciate you hitting this guy. He's one of the, hopefully we can get V on the show next week as well. I talked to him on the phone last night, getting that planned as well. But as you heard, V, where we diving into these Buckeyes, talking about the elite talent. And actually, we had a phone conversation particularly about this subject in regards to wide receivers, right? So I think we can take that conversation we had. I'm talking about the wide receivers right now. Let me ask you, and for those of you that don't know, you know, V, USC fan, always was. His son's at Ohio State now. Dude's a Buckeye. Dude's a Buckeye now, always will be. It is what it is. But he's still got some love for USC, so it's not like he's about to bring up a team he doesn't like. But is Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate the best receiving duo in the nation?
Hands down. Hands down. Like, there's nobody closer. Like, if we're talking about playmaking ability, it's just how they complement each other. You know,
Yeah.
They play really well in the flow of the game, whether it's a slow start, fast start. They also, it's the way they play the game, right? Like, they play the game mentally before it transitions to the physical part. And I don't think there's a duo closer to them than these two are just, they are hands down the best wide receiver duo in the country right now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, let's just think about this, right? Emeka Ibuka was maybe the second or third last year, and he's the most impactful receiver right now as a rookie in the NFL. So that tells you a lot about the coaching of Brian Hartline and the receiving room and how they see and play the game.
Yeah.
And right now, there's nobody closer. There isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, statistically, if you're talking stats, cool, whatever, right? But can they impact the game? Can that one receiver or two receivers impact the game and change the game?
Yeah.
Right? That's what it really comes down to. Like, it's all about the impact that the players have on the game. Because, I mean, look at Jeremiah last year in that playoff run, right? Oregon game, smoked everybody. Texas game, right? Wasn't around in the first half, and then boom, second half, ghosted everybody. Notre Dame, same thing, right? It's impact. It's really about impact.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, man. That's when we were talking on the phone at the beginning of my show. I talked about Ohio State being ranked 123rd in the nation for plays per game. They're running 62 plays per game. Last year they ran 60 plays per game. So when you take that into account too, with what Jeremiah Smith is doing this year, you know, it kind of brings into perspective. And the other thing, you're talking about impacting the game. I talked about it as well. Like, when you go watch the film, watch how the opposing defense surrounds their defense around where is Jeremiah Smith lined up. That's going to decide what defense they run. And I was saying, like, when teams are prepping to play the Buckeyes, this defense, they're going to have like 3 to 5 points of emphasis. every team we've played this year has Jeremiah Smith as their number one point of emphasis, man. Hey, dude, you gonna be all right driving on the show? I just realized, bro, you driving around on YouTube Live, bro.
My God.
You're
Well,
good, dude. I don't care.
here it
As
is.
long as
I'll put it down. So
yeah,
I guess, yeah, like the biggest thing is the impact, dude. Like I look at impact more than I look at stats or whatever, you know.
yeah,
So like stats don't mean nothing to me. I mean, it looks good, right? But sometimes your stats can be a false narrative. Like, okay, yeah, your stats is there, but what is your actual team doing?
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you're collecting, you're just collecting numbers at that point.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. So V, we got some Buckeyes in the chat. They want to let you know blessings and thank you for you and your family being a part of Buckeye Nation. They're thrilled that you are. Uh, Before we get you off here, I do want to ask you about that, man, because obviously Epi was a top 10 defensive end in that class, was committed to UCLA, a lot of offers, big time prospect, probably could have went or could have went anywhere that he wanted to go, ended up kind of picking the Buckeyes late. Can you kind of speak to maybe as a father, were you comfortable with that? What made you comfortable about that? And then now being this far into the season, he wasn't an early graduate, got there a little late, but he's been there for quite some time now. Based off what you've seen so far, do you think you guys made the right choice?
Um. So at the end of the day, it's my son's decision, right?
Yeah.
Where he's gonna go. He's the one that's got to go through all of this, right? School, playing football, and everything thereafter. So uh, when he made decision, when he made the decision, I was okay with it. I was great with it because it's it's all about him, not about me,
Yeah.
not about my family, not about it's him, right? And again, we've always taught him, pray upon things, and God will let you know where you belong. And for a while, that's all he's been doing. And when he came with the decision, he said he believes this is Ohio State is where God wants him to be, right? And I'm not going to question God. It's crazy, you know.
Amen.
And I'm not going to question his decision. So when he made that decision, I was happy for him, right? And I was happy for him genuinely because he's moving towards direction of just coming to his own, you know,
Yeah.
and making decisions. As I told me and his mom has always told him, decisions you make in life is gonna dictate what your future is gonna be. And so far, him being at Ohio has been great. He loves it. He loves the culture, right? And for me as a dad, I couldn't be more happier. You know, just talking to him over the phone, and us joking around. Him calling me like, "Not looking good for your Trojans," But at the end of the day, it's like I'm just happy for him. And again, it's and with men like Coach Larry Johnson, Ryan Day, you know, they lead with their actions, and so far, I love what I see. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Epi still goes down as it is what it is. It's the favorite interview I've ever done, man. I've never had somebody a young at the time a young kid. I considered him, but dude's a man. But at the time, I considered him a young kid. So mature, so insightful. turned the interview around on me, started asking me questions, and they weren't like just random questions. Like, you could tell that he had a hunger for knowledge. And I love the Lord, and I have a past, shared my testimony yesterday on the channel, and that's what his questions were based around. When he started asking that, and it was asking like, "Hey, Dev, so when you moved to Florida, was it a big shock to you?" I remember the question he asked, and I was like, "Dang, dude, this kid's for real." And then you see him get to Ohio State. You look at the physical aspect of it. Dude's up to 260 already. Looks like an absolute unit. You see him putting out his devotional videos. So it seems
Yeah.
like he followed God's plan, doing the right thing, and it's amazing. I cannot wait to see what the future has for your son, Epi, man. But
And
brother,
for him, he just loves he understands that patience is the biggest part of of life. So, you know,
yeah,
so yeah, man.
oh yeah, his time's gonna come, man. It don't matter. Like, you wait. Look at Caden Curry. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody talked about him last year. Nobody
Yep.
mentioned his name. Nobody was talking about him preseason, at least not at the level he's playing at. And the dude is
Yep.
one of the best defensive linemen in college football right now, statistically and in every way. He plays nose guard as a 260-pound, 6'2" dude. Like,
Yeah.
you have
It's
to be
like
pretty good to do that.
it's like what I say, right? Everybody's a dog until the wolves show up.
I love it, bro. Bro, I'm gonna
So,
get that on a shirt, man. I'm gonna get that on a shirt. Um, hey, dude, I'll holler at you. Shoot you
yes,
a
sir.
text later or something. We'll get it. We'll get the show set up. You said you're gonna be in Columbus, man, for the Penn State game. Gonna be chilling with Epi. Hopefully you can get to his place, get on your computer, join us for the show after the game, talk a little Penn State. But you got any final thoughts, man? Maybe speak to your excitement getting down there into the Woody and back to Columbus, man. You excited to get to see your kid?
Uh, yeah, man. A good quote is, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." And I believe that is what they're preaching here at Ohio State.
I love it. Yeah, you can tell whatever they're preaching is working. Highest
Yeah.
APR in college football, grades are there, culture is there. Me and you talk about it all the time. You don't see a bunch of speeding
Yeah,
tickets and all
man.
these crazy things going on. So, V, I appreciate you for joining the show, man. I'm excited for our show coming up sometime, hopefully this upcoming week, but we'll definitely get you back on, brother. You have a blessed day, man. I'll holler at you later.
You too, bro. Have a good one.
Yep, take care. Oh, OH.
IO.
Yeah. That's my dude right there. Got a pretty strong relationship with now. I've been talking to him, since I interviewed Epi, and that's just, man, that's one of the blessings about starting this YouTube show and interviewing these guys, building relationships with people, talking to them. Just a one of a kind, amazing family. I feel like I could say that about all these players that ultimately end up choosing the Buckeyes, but man, dude, there is a pattern with who these Buckeyes allow into their program. And it's not just about the recruit. I'm telling you, it's not just about the player. It's about their family as well. The Buckeyes don't just recruit the football players. They don't just, um, you know, diagnose and, try to figure out if it's a good football player. They look into the family as well. They look them in the eye. They ask them questions. They tell them the truth. They're honest with them. They see their reactions. So, I mean, that's what these Buckeyes do. Got another guest joining us. Been a minute. Love this guest to death. She is the Ohio guru. There is not a person on YouTube, quite frankly, probably anywhere, that knows more Ohio high school players. Maybe Mark Porter, Mika. Mika would agree with that. Mark Porter and her, they know all there is to know about Ohio recruits. She loves Ohio State football. Mika, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Dad?
Blessed by the best, Mika. Woke up a national champ today on a YouTube show with you. Talked about Ohio State. Don't get much better than that. How's your day going?
Doing great. Good to be back in the swing of things, and just dropped a new episode.
Did you? On your show? What'd you talk about over there?
It's called the Illuminati Podcast. I dropped it on the Ohio Podcast Patreon. Anyone that wants to check it out should. It's awesome. I think I did a pretty good job on it. It's my own show. I'm really excited about it.
Nice. That's an interesting name. I don't know much about that, but we'll go. I'm gonna go check it out for sure, Mika. But we're talking about the elite talent at Ohio State right now. I want to get your opinion on some of these 2026 recruits from the state of Ohio that are signed with the Buckeyes and that are not signed with the Buckeyes. Give me one recruit from Ohio that's currently signed with the Buckeyes that you're in love with, you think he's going to be a stud, and then one recruit that's not signed with the Buckeyes that you wish would get into this class.
Corey Wilder, I love this guy. He's tremendous. And the way he rose up the rankings, the way we found him and got in on him, and no one else was really in on him, and he's just so impressive. He's so dominant. And I can't wait to see what he does at the next level.
Yeah, and Ohio State feels the same way that you do because Coach Larry Johnson went and visited Corey Wilder on his very, very limited time during the bye week. So that should go to show you he's the number one defensive lineman in the 2026 class, and he used to be ranked outside the top 500 nationally. Okay,
Yeah.
so Buckeyes got in there. Mika, is there a recruit on your mind that you really hope the Buckeyes can reel in? I've got several, but give me one that you're looking at now and you hope the Buckeyes reel them in.
CJ Bronner, the Florida commit that we're looking at. I love his speed, and he's a great tackler as well.
Yeah, didn't he just schedule an official visit to Ohio State? Yep. Yep, that's good. Coach Tim Walton, dude, he's doing his thing. He's got Danny Odom might come to the Penn State game. I'm not liking what I'm hearing there. Jay Timmons will be at the Penn State game, Mika, and he's also coming on the show after his visit. So I'll have Jay Timmons on here, the Florida State commit, the number 2 cornerback in the nation, committed to FSU. The Buckeyes are after him pretty hard. And also, you said it, top 100 player CJ committed to Florida, just set his official visit. So Coach Wald ain't playing games on this cornerback position. I think we'll end up with a darn good prospect to add with Jordan Thomas, who is already – that dude's a dog as well.
Yeah, he's absolutely a dog, and I think I had a number 1 quarterback on my board, and I think CJ would make a great pairing with him. If we don't get him, I'm sure we'll get somebody like Walton's out there doing work. We'll always get somebody. I'm not worried about recruiting. Ohio State will get things worked out. Like,
yes,
coaching changes happen, things happen. We'll find a way to fill the holes.
We absolutely will. All right, Mika, we're running out of time here, but I appreciate you joining the show. Got the next show about to come on. Guys, go check out Mika's new show over there on the Ohio Podcast. She does a great job. Great person, great friend of the Buckeye boys. Always has been, always will be. Mika, appreciate you. Love you, girl. You have a blessed night, okay?
Good night, man.
Good night. It's pretty hard to find, people that you become friends with in this YouTube world when you have a channel that stay loyal, stay friendly, all those things. Mika is one of those people. So shout out, Mika. Thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate you. We're running out of time. I didn't get to Arvell Reese, the absolute freak show, who weighs 243 pounds and bench presses 410 pounds. Caleb Downs, when asked, hey, what's that one thing about Arvell Reese that really pops off? And he said, and I quote, he said, his unbridled strength. Go watch the film. He literally throws people all over the football field. Offensive tackles, it don't matter. It's a sight to be seen watching Arvell Reese play. And I'm going to tell you something too. You heard it. I don't know if you heard it here first. Maybe you are, but they have not unleashed Arvell Reese yet. Okay? They haven't unleashed him yet. So wait for the day until they do. Caden Curry, K-Mac, the whole 9 yards. We got a lot more to dive into, but B. Moses in Nevada about to come on. You guys head over there. Before you do, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the Buckeye Boys channel or Scoop, please do so. Help support the channel, helps get these videos out there a little more. And here at the Buckeye Boys, everything that comes into this channel goes right back out. Any money we make from YouTube goes into giving away tickets for you guys to attend games. I would love to get up to the level, give away a playoff ticket this year, maybe 2, maybe bring some people to a game next year. Super chats, they go to help homeless vets and people that struggle with drug addiction. But appreciate you guys so much for joining the show, tuning in tonight. Tomorrow, Daniel Sanchez. Brady Edmonds might be on tomorrow as well. But next week, loaded show. There's a lot of recruits visiting Ohio State, and a lot of them will be on the Buckeye Boys channel directly after their visit, telling us how the visit went. So if you want to get an idea, a true idea, if the Buckeyes have a chance, hit the alert bell here, tune in here where you don't have to read an article where somebody's opinion is in there. Come listen to what these recruits have to say themselves. Doesn't always work. We know that. If you follow this channel, you know we've been duped before. But I love it anyhow. On that note, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Go Buckeyes. OH.